At 2024's Summer Game Fest Play Days, I sat down for a hands-off preview of Exoborne and was skeptically impressed. In 2025, however, I went hands-on with Exoborne, and now it has leapt to my most anticipated titles of the foreseeable future. Exoborne is a mech-suit-filled tactical open-world shooter that sees the player extracting loot from areas with enemies, factions, NPCs, and real players, along with extreme forces of nature. Each player is outfitted with different weapons and exosuits prior to launch, and they'll make use of these weapons while making their way through to high-tier loot points within the world, all while battling those various factions, enemies, robots, and drones along the way. Of brief note here, the footage that you're seeing is provided B-roll. While I was hands-on with Exoborne for an entire mission that saw me extract safely while sadly leaving my teammates behind, my personal footage was not captured. We were also playing on PC with keyboard and mouse, though the devs assured me that controller support and console versions were on their way. This was simply the build that they had brought to Summer Game Fest, and I made the most of it. On to my personal experiences though. After a brief expositional cutscene, my two teammates along with myself, accounting for a team of 3, set forth to make our way into the drop zone. We'd picked up a mission that would see us need to traverse a massive area full of canyons, crevices, and difficult to climb areas. My first thought was that it would take us a while to get to our location, and boy was I wrong, because we made our way in the coolest of ways possible. Apart from the expected abilities that an exosuit gives you, like boosts or double jump or whatnot, we were also able to deploy grappling hooks and swing ourselves about. Now this was an incredible feature because 1, a grapple hook in any game is awesome, and 2, when you combine it with the ability to double jump into the air, your mech will deploy a parachute of sorts and you'll be able to catch wind and glide over the map. You put this in combination with those double jumps, grapple hooks, and shoot deploys, along with the extreme weather nature effects that were going on, and I found myself experimenting with a number of ways to gather speed and pull off neat tricks. Because Exoborne makes use of dynamic and unpredictable extreme weather, we were able to catch wind with things like tornadoes and windstorms, and you would be able to propel yourself forward and sideways. Sometimes that rain and wind worked against you, sometimes it was awesome and just propelled you forward with massive amounts of speed. It made for epic moments of grapple, deploy, react, and recover all throughout in just a standard gameplay loop of getting to our objective, and I loved it. Now, once we'd landed in our objective area, we noticed that NPCs were taking pot shots at us. I rotated between my two weapons until I'd selected the appropriate medium range weapon, and we proceeded to dispatch these NPCs with reasonable difficulty and ease. The weapons were weighty and packed a punch, and they felt good to shoot. I was using an automatic at the time, but I was able to switch between sniper rifle, semi-automatic, that kind of stuff. After looting those particular NPCs, we continued on to our objective, and we had new gear and weapons to make use of. Once we arrived at that mission objective, we fell under fire again, but this time it was different, and when I realized why, I laughed out with glee. There were NPCs shooting at us, sure, but there was also something different about these shots. Exoborne is a PvP-VE extraction shooter, and unbeknownst to me at the time, something I hadn't realized in the moment, other players were in this same mission with us, and they were having an overlap with the NPCs shooting at us. It was awesome, and suddenly we were in this kind of fight for our lives element. I switched to my sniper and took down real-world enemy players, although I'm very sure those developers were letting me get by with some ease so I would have a good time. I did though, and that was the cool part. Bottom line, after I extracted, I took off my headset and I was grinning ear to ear. Exoborne is an absolute blast, and it speaks to my soul. Mech suits, grappling hooks, gliding mechanics, awesome weapons, all with fire tornadoes circling about. I absolutely loved it. It's my kind of game, and my eyes are pointed firmly toward its release, currently slated for sometime in 2025 on PC and console. Developer SharkMob looks to be making something special, and I'm just thrilled to see what they come up with, and whether or not it's PC or console, I know I'll be playing it. Please consider supporting XEP by liking, subscribing, or sharing this preview with others. We've got more hands-on coverage from Summer Game Fest on the way, as well as our impressions of each showcase. That's it for us. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.